Vanakkam. Now, today I am going to say a very important about the circular issued by Reserve Bank of India, that is Reserve Bank of India lending against gold and silver collateral directions 2025. Here I want to say the background of the history. On 30/9/2024, the Reserve Bank of India has issued audit irregularities. Here they say that they paid the part amount, that is the borrower has paid the part amount and they renewed the loan. And this is the starting point. Because of this audit objection, a lot of banks they think that that's an evergreening policy. That is, they are renewing the overdue loans by way of giving another loan. And at one point of time, they have taken a decision that the existing loan should not be renewed. And indirectly, what they did, this is the practice adopted by most of the banks, that they have given the loan to the wife. For example, on the due date, the wife, she is not able to repay the loan. Then immediately the bank, they have sanctioned the loan to husband. Then thereby the loan, out of the loan process sanctioned to husband, the amount is being given credit to a wife. So the rule is nullified. This is the concept they have given. But the main mistake is that on the date of giving the loan to husband, at the minute of giving or sanctioning the loan, there was no security at all. So immediately within 2 minutes or 3 minutes, the loan is being backed by the pledge of jewels. So this is the important thing, and there are a lot of hue and cry that has come in public. So the entire loan policy of the bank is being reviewed or is being given direction by Reserve Bank of India through this act. So this is the background of the case, background of the act. So let us go depth into this thing, and it's a very, very important thing. And RBI has come to the rescue of the borrower. So even I am of the opinion that if the loan is closed on the same day, if the loan, you have to close the loan today and tomorrow only you have to get the loan, that means for one day, the borrowers, they have to borrow the money from outside. That is from the middleman. So thereby they are paying more interest. So this is also another minus point, but here everything is solved through this directions 2025. And so the views expressed by here is my views, and it is my understanding. The viewers have requested to read the RBI circular for their understanding and clarification, and I am not responsible for any wrong interpretation. The persons who are seeing this video. And this is the RBI circular based on which this presentation is I'm going to give today. RBI 2025-26-47 DOR.CRE.REC 26/21.01.023/25/26 dated 6/6/2025. It's a very, very important circular. And this is called as RBI lending against gold and silver collateral directions 2025. I request all the fellow professionals to go through the circular very carefully, because you are going for the audit. You can take a lot of decisions. You can find a lot of difference of view among the gold loan procedures. So now the RBI has given the restriction. You should not lend against the primary gold, that is against the bullion. And against the gold bullion, you are not supposed to give the loan, jewel loan. And if you sanction the lending of loan to primary gold based on the primary gold, and it leads to speculative and non-productive nature of gold. So hence the RBI has put a lot of restrictions, and regulatory authorities, entities have been permitted to sanction the gold loan. Here we will, for easy understanding, we will take regulatory entities or banks. So they can lend against the gold jewelry, and they can lend against ornaments, and they can lend against the coins. So gold and silver coin are against also. Regulatory entities are permitted to give the jewel loan. So this is the thing I have read from the directions 2025. So a bank can lend against the gold coin and silver coin. And what is the, there are lending policy differs from bank to bank. We can say it's between different entities. And now the RBI felt there is a uniformity is required. So now the purpose of revised directions are it's a harmonized regulatory framework for various regulated entities, and it addresses concern over lending practices with necessary clarity. So they are giving a lot of clarities through this direction 2025. This is related to strengthen the contact related aspects with reference to jewel loan. And RBI issued the directions in the interest of the public as well as in the interest of the depositor, because only depositors' money is being lent. So they want to save the interest of the depositors. So these directions have been issued. Then here is the very, very important thing that you have to remember. What is the implementation date? Because all of a sudden you cannot change the gold loan policy, jewel loan lending policy. So they say that all these instructions have to be complied or have to be fulfilled on or before 1/4/2026. So the RBI has given time till 1/4/2026 so that all the regulated entities or all the banks, they can modify the jewel loan policy based on these directions. And before 1/4/2026, if any jewel loan is being sanctioned, they can carry out the procedures of sanctioning the loan as per the existing jewel loan policy. And the purpose, that is the scope of this direction, is towards the purpose of consumption, because the loan is being sanctioned, jewel loan is being sanctioned for the purpose of consumption, that is for the regular business, regular personal use and everything. And whenever any loan is given, income can also be generated. That is, for that also you can get a jewel loan. That includes farm credit. And with reference to sanction of jewel loan, a collateral security is required. That collateral security may be in the form of gold or silver. So the directions of 2025, that is these directions, gives importance towards the collateral security of gold and silver. That is overall eligible to be called as regulated entities, commercial banks, including small finance banks, local area banks, RRBs, but it excludes the payment banks, urban cooperative bank, state cooperative bank, central cooperative bank, and all NBFCs, including housing finance corporations. What is now, before going to the subject, we must know some important definitions that have been given importance in this directions. That is what is called as bullet repayment. It's a principal and interest due on a particular day, and it has to be paid on the maturity date. So at one shot you have to make the payment. That is called as bullet repayment. Collateral security, that is, it's an existing asset of the borrower pledged to the lender to avail the loan and secure, and it can be taken as a security to the credit facility availed from the bank. And next one is consumption land. That is, those loans who are coming under income generation loan, that is not coming under income generation loan, are called as consumption loan. What is income generation loan? That is loan extended for the purpose of productive economic activities such as farm credit, loans for business or commercial purpose, loans for creation or acquisition of any productive asset. It is not out of capital asset. Only if there is any productive asset, then that is called as income generating loan. That is, if any loan is sanctioned for the purpose of acquisition of productive asset, it is called as income generating loans. Then loan to value. This is the latest concept, and this plays a very important role, and it's clearly defined in this master directive. That is, loan amount is there. What is the collateral security? That is, they are going to pledge with the bank. So the ratio of outstanding based on the value of property, that is loan amount received, they are calculating some percentage. Only to that extent, maximum extent, you can lend the loan. So that is called as loan to value. This point we can see later. And what is the eligible collateral? So they are saying that collateral of jewelry, ornaments, or coins made up of gold or silver. They are called as eligible collateral. So other than that, no, nothing is covered in this direction. So here they are giving difference between jewelry and ornaments. Jewelry is a thing which you can go as for the personal adornments, whereas ornaments meant for use as adornment for any object, decorative items or utensils, but exclude jewelry. So jewelry you can wear, ornaments you cannot wear. So this is the, but both are gold and silver. So that is the basic difference between jewelry and ornaments. And primary gold and primary silver, that is gold and silver, which are not used and which are not to be called as jewelry, which are not to be called as ornaments, which are not to be called as coins, are covered under the definition of primary gold and primary silver. So these important definitions you must know before and going through the session. And what's the general condition of condition in loan policy? This is a thing. First thing, every bank they have to define, decide single borrower limit and ascertain the overall aggregate portfolio against the collateral. And third one is maximum LTV, that is loan to value ratio permissible. That also they have to decide. But RBI has clearly said what is LTV ratio and action taken against breach of LTV. Suppose if there is any bank that is going against the RBI classification or LTV, you can take, that is the RBI can take action. And what is the value standards that are adopted? What are the norms that are to be followed in lending the jewels, lending against the jewels? And what are the standards of gold and silver purity? So for the purity also, they have given the hint in this direction. What is the sanction procedures to be followed? That is also plays a very role. And what is the auction procedures? Auction procedures also play a very important thing here in this most direction. Now, how the lenders approach. So normally nowadays, if you are going to the bank, sir, I want jewel loan, immediately on receipt of jewel, they are sanctioning the loan. But here they say that if the loan amount exceeds 2.5 lakhs, then the bank has to give the credit assessment. This is the very important thing added in this circular. Details of credit assessment should be there, and the borrower's repayment capacity has to be analyzed by the bank if the loan amount exceeds 2.5 lakhs. So this is a very important thing that you can note it from this directions. And now this is a very, very important area. You have got a loan. Now we want to go for the renewal. So this is where a lot of problems have arisen. Now, this is one of the audit objections. And now it's clearly defined, clearly said in the circular. That is formal request you have to receive from the borrower. Sir, I want to renew the loan. I want to renew the loan. The bank, they will prepare their own form, but formal request has to be received. So automatically bank cannot renew the loan. Few banks, they are doing it and not all banks. But now the formal request is required and branch has to do the credit assessment of borrowing. So the bank has to analyze the credit assessment, whether this party is eligible to get the gold loan or not. And renewal or top up are subject to permissible loan to value ratio. So if value of the gold is there, jewelry is there, but they want to renew it, but everything is subject to loan to value ratio. And on the date of renewal or top up, the existing loan must be standard. This is very, very important thing. So on the date of renewal or top up means additional loan given to the existing jewelry, based on the existing jewelry, they can sanction the loan. So this is the existing loan must be a standard asset as on the date of the renewal or top up. And this renewal is there allowed, that is, it is in the case of bullet repayment, it is allowed only after payment of accrued interest. This is an important direction given in this circular. Yes, I want to renew the loan. Then the bank may say that, or they have to say that, please pay the interest. If you want to renew the loan, you have to pay the accrued interest. few banks, what they are doing, they are adding the interest to the existing limit, existing loan, and they are giving a new loan with enhancement. That should not be there. So the RBI circular clearly says that in case of bullet repayment loan, that is 1 year loan or 6 months loan or any due date fixed jewel loan, the borrower has to pay the entire accrued interest. Then only the existing jewel loan is renewed. Such loan shall be clearly identifiable in banks CBS. So that means if this type of renewal is done based on the payment of accrued interest, whenever any auditor goes, they can easily see that the existing loan is renewed based on the payment of accrued interest in full. So it's a clear direction given by RBI that existing loan cannot be renewed without receipt of accrued interest. This is a very that is heart of this circular. Pay the interest, then renew it. So you are not supposed to add the interest to the existing loan, then renew it. So this rule has gone because of this circular. So this is a very important point that every auditor has to see. The accrued interest has to be paid, then only the existing loan can be renewed, and it should be clearly mentioned in the CBS environment. And this is another restrictions given in the circular. That is, the bank should not grant any advance or loan against the primary gold or silver or financial assets backed by primary gold or silver. That is units of ETF and units of mutual fund. And the bank should not grant any loan where the ownership is of the collateral is doubtful. That is the collateral. That is collateral is jewelry. So if it is doubtful, the banks should not lend. So that means indirectly they are saying that ownership has to be confirmed by the bank. So any loan given by the banker in the form of jewel loan, that means banker indirectly confirms the ownership of the gold. In case if there is any dispute comes in the future, then the bankers are answerable. So in case multiple or frequent sanction against the same collateral, one jewelry is there, against that 3 loans or 4 loans have been sanctioned by the bank, then that is to be inquired very carefully by the auditor. Even the bankers, they have to be very careful. And they say that the limit should not exceed the sanction limit, should not exceed the threshold limit. Here the threshold limit is, the one is based on the LTV and another one is based on the overall limit, say 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs as per the bank's policy. It should not exceed the threshold limit. So, and the bankers, even before sanctioning the jewel loan, they have to confirm whether the transaction may lead to anti-money laundering activities. So that means without verifying the jewelry ownership, so without verifying the purpose of the loan, and the bankers, they sanction the loan, that means indirectly they are approving the ownership, they are approving the transaction. In case if there is anything which goes against, then if it is covered under AML, that is Anti-Money Laundering Act, then that is the bankers are responsible. In case if an auditor have identified this, then he can escape. So indirectly, the auditors are also responsible. The auditors have to see the purpose of the loan, whether the purpose is being genuinely used or not. That also they have to see. Next one is not to repledge or extend the loans to others on repledge. So a banker has got the loan, that is a pledged jewels. He cannot go and repledge the jewels with other banks or other financial entities. And also, other banks are also not allowed to pledge the jewels which they have received. So indirectly, they put a restriction to the regulated entities that pledged jewels should not be repledged. So that is the concept. So this point you have to see. Next important thing is tenor of the bullet report. What is it tenor? Tenor means due date of the bullet repayment. The RBI circular says it is for the consumption loan. It is not for the business loan. Only for the consumption loan. The nature of bullet repayment is being fixed, and that means the bullet repayment applies only for the consumption of loan and not for anything. And another important thing is renewal of this bullet payment as it is allowed only if the approved interest and the jewel loan is being paid in full. So it's an indirect or direct wordings that jewel loan can, that is, which have been received for the consumption as a consumption loan should not be renewed without payment of accrued interest. This is the main heart of the issue stated in this circular. And loan against ornaments, that is, which are not called as jewelry, yes, it is permitted. Loans to single borrower, they say that the aggregate weight not to exceed, in case of gold, it is 1 kg of ornaments, and in case of silver, it is 10 kg of silver ornaments. So for a loan to borrower, because you cannot wear the coin, so a gold not to exceed 50 grams. So that means for coins, you can give a loan up to 50 grams for the gold and 500 grams in the case of silver. That is clearly stated here. And what is the assessment? That is, everything is based on the valuation. So for that also they have given a clear instruction. That is, you have to consider the lower of the average closing price of our gold or silver, as the case may be, that specific purity over the preceding 30 days. So what is the average price that is there in the 30 days, preceding 30 days? And what's the value fixed by Indian Bullion and Jewelers Association Limited or Commodity Exchange regulated by SEBI? Whichever is lower, you have to consider as the base value. And for valuation purpose, you have to consider only the intrinsic value. You should not consider the stones or gems that have been pasted, that have been fixed in that jewelry. So you should not take. You have to remove that in the valuation. Now, the Reserve Bank has clearly said what is loan to value ratio. This is a ratio they have to follow. That is, maintain loan to value ratio is an ongoing basis. Daily you can change it. So during the tenor also, that is, a loan is sanctioned for 1 year. During the tenor, if the value has increased, LTV can be increased. If the value has decreased, LTV can be decreased. So what is the maximum loan that a bank can sanction or bank can give the loan to the borrower, or borrower can avail the loan from the banker, is the maximum of, that is, if the value consumption loan is 2.5 lakhs, that means up to 85% of LTV loan can be sanctioned. If the loan is more than 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs, then up to 80% of the LTV can be sanctioned. More than 5 lakhs, then up to 75% of the loan can be sanctioned. Here, what is the next one is standardization of procedure for assigning a valuation of gold or silver. What is the thing? That is, lenders have to follow the uniformity with reference to purity. So it applies for entire branches, and that too without any deviation. So the lenders in the website, they have to display in what manner they are arriving at the net weight. So they are giving importance for the net weight of gold or silver. So another one is how to determine the LTV, that is value of the gold or silver. That also they have to clearly mention in the website. And whenever they are doing the valuation, then borrower's presence must be there, and borrower must be explained in person, saying that, sir, we have taken only the gold and we have not considered the stones that have been fixed in the jewelry. So this they have to give it. They have to give a proper explanation to the borrower, and all this must be incorporated in the certificate. That means the bankers are requested to get a certificate from the borrower saying that the bankers have explained everything in detail to the borrower. So post-pledging, now these are the things that the bankers may face the problem, or regulated entities, they may face the problem. Loss of gold or silver. Sometimes jewelry would have been misplaced or ornaments would have been misplaced. Next thing is suddenly there is a deterioration or discrepancy in quantity or purity. So that also possible. Then this may be found out during the audit or at the time of return or auction. So in that case, the bankers have to communicate with the borrower or legal that in case of any loss, we will compensate the borrower or legal heir, but everything should be in writing and it should be given at the time of sanctioning the loan. Now, documentation. Now, documentation, that is all the documents the bankers they have to get regarding collateral. This is a collateral, and what is the value of the collateral? And in case if you have not paid the amount, we will go for the auction. And what is the notice period that they will give to the loan borrower at the time of loan sanction itself? They have to get they have to give the information to the borrower. In case if there is any surplus in action or deficit in action, what are the steps they will take, and what are the charges of auction, that also they have to clearly mention in the document. Now, who has to handle the jewels after the loan is sanctioned? The lenders, they have to have proper infrastructure to store everything in its branch. So when the loan is sanctioned at A branch, the jewelry should be kept only at the A branch and not at the B branch. So gold and silvers should be handled only at the branches, only by the branches, and that too only by the employees of the lender. Here lender is, let us take, this is a banker, and stored only at the lender branch and nowhere. So it is clearly RBI says that you have to keep every stock of gold or silver only at the branch where the loan is sanctioned. Now, sometimes the jewelry is being moved from one place to another. For that also they are given a clear instruction. The first instruction is you have to store only at the branch where the loan is sanctioned and nowhere. Due to some failure in the first auction, suppose the jewelry which have been put on auction, and if they are not able to sell it, then they can move to the adjoining district. So from here to another place also, adjoining place you can shift the jewelry. Even online auction is also possible. So only at that time the jewels can be moved, and sometimes some branch may shift their place of business from A place to B place. In that case, they have to inform the borrower saying that on such and such date, we are going to move the branch from A place to B place, and this is your notice. This is for your kind notice. They have to inform the borrower. And sometimes they are closing the branches due to some there is a merger and everything. They are closing the branches, and the borrower must be informed by the bank saying that, sir, we have moved your jewelry from this place to this place, and this is a new place of business. Everything they have to explain. Now, verification of jewels. Who is authorized to verify the jewels? It is by the internal team, and sometimes surprise verification can be done by the regional office, zonal office, head office, even by the RBI team also they can do the surprise verification. Even other bank appraiser can also come and do the verification of the jewels. So if they are doing it, they have to inform the borrower saying that, sir, your jewels have been verified by our team. Everything they have to give in detail. So now, release of collateral. Next area is, now I have repaid the amount. Now I want to take back the jewelry. The RBI clearly say that the bank has to return the jewels immediately on the date of closure of the loan, or within 7 days, or they can up to 7 days. They are giving direction to the bank. They can withhold the jewels, and it has to be returned to the borrower or legal heir even after full repayment. And in case if it goes beyond that, then they have to inform the Reserve Bank of India. So now auction procedures. So now loan has not been paid. Your jewel loan has not been paid. Now the bankers, they have to go for the auction. Before going to the auction, they have to give a proper notice to the borrower, say that within this date you have to come and repay the loan. Otherwise, we are proceeding with the auction. Then copy of this service must be kept on file. That is, this copy of the notice which has been served with the customer must be acknowledgement must be properly kept. And next one is, in case if the borrower, they are not unable to locate, or legal has they are unable to locate, then the proceed for auction after the lapse of 1 month. After 1 month, up to 1 month they have to wait, and after that they have to go for the public notice for 30 days. Even after that also they are not able to locate the borrower or legal hand, they can go with the auction. And in case of auction, the banks they have to give public notice or announcement of auction to the public in 2 newspapers, and one in the regional language and another in the national daily. And next step is the pledged auction jewels. That is, the auction can be conducted only by the employee of the lender or auctioneer empaneled with the banker. They can do the auction. And reserve price, for that also they are giving an instruction. That is, it should not be less than 90% of the current value. They say that it's a current value. As on date, what is the current value? So it should not be less than 90%. In case, if even after conducting 2 auctions, those jewels have not been sold, have not been auctioned, then the reserve price can be reduced to 85% of the current value. So first auction can be conducted in the same district. In case if there is any failure of doing the first auction, then they can conduct in the adjoining district also, they can do the auction. Even online auction is also permitted. Then related parties or lenders should not participate in the action. This is a very, very important thing. Then after auction, the banker, they have to inform the borrower, this is the amount against this is the amount that has been paid by the person who has taken the jewel on auction, and they have to inform the borrower in detail. And after adjustment of the money which has been received in auction, first they have to adjust towards interest. Next, they have to adjust towards the principal. And if there is any surplus, that surplus money should be returned to the borrower. In case if there is any deficit, that can be recovered from the borrower as per the lending policy of the banks. Next one is, in case if the compensation is has to be paid by the banker, if the date has expired, even in spite of the date expiry, the bankers they have not returned the compensation amount to the borrower, then 5,000 per day is the penalty till the payment is being made. And the advertisement made by the banker should not mislead about the jewel loan lending, and lender to ensure the sourcing of the loan, from where the money will come to them and how to recover the loan. That also the bankers they have to confirm. And the bankers, even before sanctioning the jewel loan, they have to follow the KYC, and the loan amount should be given after sanction of jewel loan. The loan amount should be given credit only to the borrower account and not to the third party. So as an auditor, you must see this is a very important thing. The jewel loan must be given credit only to the SB account or current account of the borrower and not to third party's account, even it is a specific request. So that is a thing you have to see. And in case if the bankers have lent to the same for the same borrower, multiple loan accounts for the same jewelry, a care must be taken to see from the misuse of funds or not. So this is the latest circular issued on 6/6/2025. The heart of this circular is you can renew the loan by paying the accrued interest. So that means indirectly accrued interest should not be top up with the existing jewel loan. So this is a concept. Most of the jewel loan policies have been clearly explained through this circular. This is my view, and I request all the viewers, please go through the master, that is Reserve Bank of India loans against gold and silver collateral directions 2025, that is dated 6/6/25. This solves all the existing jewel loan problems because it has given a clear-cut instruction. But with reference to sanctioning the loan under agricultural loan, as agriculture jewel loan, as normal jewel loan, you have to rely on the bank's policy and Reserve Banks of India policy. With this, I'm very much happy to present today's topic on the RBI lending against gold and silver collateral directions 2025. Thank you very much for watching this program patiently. Nandri, Vanakkam.